The Dominican Republic is more than Sosua and Puerto Plata.
Hello, Yanil. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. So let's start off. You were born in Dominican Republic.
Yes.
How long did you live there?
29 years.
29 years.
Yes.
So, what part of Dominican Republic are you from?
Santiago.
Santiago. Where the monument is at.
Yes.
All right. So, are you familiar with Puerto Plata, Sosua, Cabarete, the places on the north part of the island?
Yes. Being in Cabarete, Puerto Plata. Of course, all the time we used to go to the beach.
All right.
That's a normal thing we do every other weekend.
So every other weekend, how far is Santiago from Puerto Plata? Or
From Puerto Plata is 1 hour. From Cabarete, hour and a half, or maybe hour 45 minutes. Depends of the traffic. And Sosua, 1 hour 15, 25 minutes.
All right. And those places, so since I've been there, I know that Puerto Plata is maybe 20, 25 minutes from Sosua.
Yes.
And that's about another 25 minutes from Cabarete and maybe less.
Yeah, more or less.
Then I think as you go down the island, it's just about every 30 minutes is a different beach.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
We have different little beach in between where you can visit and stop and pick the best one or do you like the pretty one?
But today I wanted to talk about Sosua. So the reason is there's a lot of African Americans that travel to Sosua.
Yes.
To participate in extracurricular activities, whether that be just in partying, enjoying, or the pay for play that they go through. So, have you been to, as you said, your family and them goes to the beaches there? Do you guys go to Sosua? Do you go to Puerto Plata, Cabarete? Where do you guys spend your time?
We go to Sosua, but not for the popular Sosua Beach. Like Sosua have different beaches, the small ones, private ones that you can visit. We go into that one. But the perception about Sosua have changed in the last couple of years.
So let me do this. Let me see this. Give me a second. So this is the Sosua it wasn't like this years ago when I went, but this is kind of what it is now. I know there's a lot of businesses and things that take place in Sosua, but mostly it's this right here where you see the Haitians, the Venezuelans, and maybe even some Dominicans doing extracurricular activity. So when you go to Sosua, is this what you around? Is this what you see? Or do the local people go here? Tell me about that.
No, that's no where I used to go. I'm going to a different private beach. They have in Sosua, but that's how you looks like now. Before it was a little bit more secret. You don't see that happen in public everywhere. But they don't talk with the locals. With the locals, men visit the beach with the locals going with the family. They more approach Americans, and especially, no offense to you, but African Americans, because that's the perception. They know they go in there look for that. No, all the tourists used to go to Sosua. When you mention or you say you are going to Sosua, we know the purpose. We know the exactly purpose that you're going there. It's not just explore the area. It's not that much nice things in the best area for you explore or find extraordinary things. Because Dominican Republic is more than Sosua and Puerto Plata. And that's the perception everybody have about our country.
So if I'm a man and I meet you, so first of all, I want to meet a nice woman, nice wife, traditional woman, So first of all, where's the city in Dominican Republic got the prettiest women?
No, Santiago.
Oh, just because you're from Santiago.
No, because of that, but Santiago and Jarabacoa Mocha. It's going like in order. In San Jose de las Matas, like the Mocha, San Jose de las Matas, they like a little country
Hmm.
places. And yes, it's even a famous song going on a month ago about the women from Santiago and the other women from the shore, Ocoa, Santo Domingo, getting upset about. It's not because I'm from there. I'm just be honest with you.
All right, so
But then,
go ahead.
answer your question about what is the perception. It's no respect. Even I was 2 years ago, I was in immigration from one of my appointment before I ended to have my citizenship, and was a African American agent that do my interview,
Hmm.
and he say, "Oh, you're from Dominican Republic?" When he see my passport, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you've been there?" No, but I'm going to Sosua, and I was like, "Oh my god." My brain going like, create all this little picture. And I was like, yeah, I know the purpose you're going there, but it's better place to visit. No, my friends, I'm going with a group of friends. And I say, the
Hmm.
perception you're going to
We
have
know why he
about,
going. We know
yeah,
why he going.
we know,
Ain't no
we
secret.
know the purpose. It's no secret.
Ain't no secret.
And it's,
He
for
just
me,
going
it's
for the
no
food. That's
respect.
all.
Yeah.
So all right, so I fly into, I don't know. I'm looking for a good girl, and so I go to Santiago and I meet you. You in Santiago, your cousins, whoever there is. This is a pretty attractive woman, and I'm talking to her, and I say, hey, you know what? For the weekend, I'm just going to go to Sosua.
You can stay there. Or why? That would
I'm
be
just going
the,
to the beach in
yeah,
Sosua.
but which one?
So Sosua Beach. That's right.
Okay, okay, but we know already.
So you already know why a guy is going to
Exactly. We
Sosua.
already know where you are going. And like I mentioned before, things get different. You can see this happens before only happened in the like at for 6 p.m. evening time. Now it's all days. 9 in the morning, you see they walking around, and you see these African Americans approach them, talk to them, desperate for talk to them, and that is what it is.
So I'll give my perception. I've been traveling. I don't even call myself a passport brother because I was there before brothers had passports. I was going to Mexico when you could just have your birth certificate. So I've been to DR since 2000, 23 years that I've been traveling back and forth there. So when I used to go, it was Puerto Plata. Sosua really wasn't big. I mean, you might see that,
Hmm.
but basically you would see Europeans. It was more European people that,
Like in Cabarete, you
yeah,
see Italian people.
yeah,
Cabarete is,
expats. So
yes,
they would go
all
to
the, yes,
Cabarete, Kite Beach. Sosua
and
was
they
I
do
wouldn't say,
business.
yeah, I wouldn't say
Yeah.
so let me, everyone has some money, but Sosua was like the poor expats, and the richer ones were like in Cabarete and other places. But it was more businesses. It was just more for like the business people. And you, like you did say, you did not see that type of interaction or people on the streets until it was dark.
No.
During the day, it was almost shamed on. Like,
Yeah, family.
yeah, the
Family
family was
activities.
there.
Yes.
You could go there and you just, even on the beaches, you could spend all day at the beach, and then when it started getting dark, you would see the family start packing up and leaving. It was like a
Correct.
transition,
Yes.
like a work shift,
Exactly.
like,
You're
all right,
right.
I'm clocking in and somebody else clocking out. So the families would start packing up as it starts getting darker and a little cooler, and then you would see the other parts come in.
Correct.
So what do you think has changed? Why do you think that has changed?
Wait, now it's not only Dominicans doing
Mm.
this, it's more like in the young generation. They not afraid about anything. They don't care about reputation.
Mm.
They doing what they doing. And everything is about money. Plus we see the Venezuelans, they hating women. It's no, it's more than only Dominicans.
Hmm.
And we have people not only from Sosua, but they travel from every part of the country to
Yeah.
get to Sosua and establish there and have a different life than the life they have, for example, in Santiago.
No, I've been there. I remember when I was in Santo Domingo, and I met a girl, and I was saying, I think I think it was the opposite way, but she would just say, "Oh, I'm a waitress." That was the disguise. I waitress, or even when they would say they go to Punta Cana, "Oh, I
Mhm.
just work at the resort," and they wasn't working at the resort; they was working,
Yeah.
not at the resort. And even when they would say they're going to Puerto Plata, it's like, "Oh, I work at the beach or I work at the resort, and I come home every 3 weeks to be with my family or something like that." So it was a shame. Nobody knew what they were doing. They were going
Yeah.
there.
They're like a secret,
Yeah.
like I've said, but now
Now
it's
it's
not
not like
that.
that.
No.
Now I work in Sosua and I'm
That's
on
what
the
I'm
internet
doing.
and here's my number. Call me and we can make this money.
Yeah.
So
And this is
it's
my WhatsApp.
it's
This,
entirely different
and
now.
then they have Tinder now too.
Hmm.
I wasn't familiar, but I hear a lot of people. Now you need to be careful because in Tinder you don't know who is a worker or who is a regular lady, and that have a lot of guys misunderstand.
So let me ask you a question. So when I go to like Puerto Plata and I drive through, because there's a Jamaican place I do like to go to, and a chicken and waffle place in Sosua that I like to
So
stop at. They
I
got some good food there, you know. And they got a good
no,
bar.
and I mean
And hey,
yes.
when I had hair, I can't grow the hair, but there's a good barber up there. That brother can cut some hair. So I usually stop in and get my hair cut and get a good shave.
Okay.
Well, my question is, I have some Dominican friends, and I never hear them saying, "Let's go to Sosua." So, how is it that the men in Dominican Republic operate with like the prostitutes, or how do they pay them? How do they pay the strippers? What's their mentality for the prostitutes?
I don't going to say that they don't mess or they don't pay for prostitute. Some men do, but not in the same way Americans, especially African Americans. They more discreet if they are going to do it, and they don't do in the street. Like they have a reputation they gotta take in care. Like
So they don't want nobody to know they were a
yeah,
prostitute.
they don't want nobody know. Like a African American feel pro about. Oh, I
They feel
pay.
proud to spend that money
Yeah, I
on the
pay for
prostitutes.
this. I pay 50. I pay 100. They feel pro about, and we're looking like this. No, it's no respect for us because Dominican men can be really alpha men and macho men, but they taking care of their reputation. They can go to the strip club, and even in the strip club, if you go and see, they can be there hanging out with the chicks, have a couple drinks, but in the end of the night, you see they out. Who you really see going in and out and taking down upstairs or to the back is Americans.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that where the Dominican women don't treat Dominicans the same way that they treat black people. Like the way they
Yeah.
ask for money, or I'm sick, my grandmama's sick, I need some. I've never seen them go that way with a Dominican man. It's like,
I will think in this way. I will think the ladies now out there, and especially the youngest one, is just popping doing these things. They play smart. I can say that because today is like, okay, this is an African American. He's American. He got money. He wanna play me. I will play he too. I will take advantage. I will take his money. And they create the little games. You will see a. You will see. We was talking about that one time. That you will see the same pictures. What is the pictures you mentioned?
empty refrigerator, IV in the arm, cracked cell phone, something like that.
Mom
They want
is in
some
the
money.
or mom is in the hospital,
Yeah, I need that.
nephew, son is in the hospital, things like that. And I
But
don't blame.
thinking about playing games, one second. There was a stream that O'Shea put on that somebody else. I just
Right.
said she's from
So what's
DR.
your
Right.
opinion on this?
I want to get your opinion.
So I'm not Brazilian. I have Brazilian friends. I'm from Dominican Republic.
Oh, okay.
And the passport bros, man, they've been a thing for so long. So the difference between the foreign European guys that come into the country is not very, very different as far as what their reasons are, but the behavior is quite different. So when the African American men go, they go over there to show off, to, kind of boast to other people about how they're getting all this sexual attention. Well, the Euro guys are kind of like, come to my yacht, and they're kind of more like trying to have a party and just enjoy the company of women. Not to say that they're not terrible too, but
Right.
the way the African American guys comport themselves is more of like a stroke of ego because they don't get it back in their country. So quiet as this.
So what you think about that? So in your country, uh, I know you don't say there's no difference, but I do see a difference between the way some white men are treated and the way black men are treated. Like I know you had a friend that said they date white men and she's my color.
Is the language, the way the African American acting sometimes being, again, don't offend you as an African American, but ghetto, you can see
No,
they
no.
acting a little bit ghetto. The language, the vocabulary they use, the way they look at you, they try to approach you is different than when Europe come to you. It's like, hey, beautiful, how you doing? Excuse me, respect.
And
They
you know why
have.
that is? And I had a discussion with somebody on the chat when they said talking about learning Spanish, and they said I don't care where I learn Spanish. I can pick it up from the barber shop or from the streets as long as I learn the language. And I thought that's the craziest thing you can do, because in my opinion, you should learn Spanish. You should learn it the proper way because people are going to treat you different if you speak educated Spanish.
Spanish.
When I first was there, I got the ghetto Spanish. And I met a girl who was from,
Because you speak Spanish, right?
yeah, I met a girl from Bella Vista. That's the rich area.
Mhm.
And she's like, who taught you this Spanish? Like, why are you saying these vulgar words? Because I didn't know there was another word for
Or say.
to say, correct. And then she made fun of me. So the first person, if you only hear Spanish with your ears and you never see it, you just say the word. So one of the words, if you hear like Todo los dias, Todo los dias every
Todos
day.
los días.
But I would say Toto.
Oh, that's a bad word.
That's
Yeah.
a bad word. And she wouldn't correct me.
Exactly.
So when I got to the other word, I say, oh, like Toto. And she's like, what? What are you saying? Because to me, it sounded the same. They're just saying it fast. And she's like, oh, no, that's like the woman's vagina. Why are you?
You mentioned, yeah.
Yeah, why are
correct.
you saying that? And I was like, I didn't even know, because I learned from someone who was speaking ghetto.
Correct.
And it changes the whole perception, because that person who is from a wealthy area starts to look at you and say, is
You
that
are
the they paying for everything and they not getting anything in return. But what were you saying? I'm sorry. I think you were going down a different path.
Oh no. This
You said
they
they
go.
talk. No, you said
no,
they were
oh no,
talking.
they talk. That what I mean is they talk. It's not like they don't keep it for their sale. I leave this adventure.
All right. I'll
It's,
explain.
you know, yeah.
I'll give you an example. I'm sorry. I'm going to talk about cars. But when I got my first Mercedes, you
Mhm.
couldn't eat in it. You couldn't drink in it. I stop at a red light. I'm going to put those Armor All in them tires. I'm going to wax it up. You better take your shoes off when you come inside. My radio, everything. That's how it was because I never in my life had a Mercedes and it meant something.
Okay.
When I got my second Mercedes, you know what? I might go through the car wash,
It does
may
what
get some
happened, okay.
Armor. Go ahead. We're going through McDonald's. I can get that burger, get some French fries. It might be a fry in between the seat because I'm accustomed to that lifestyle.
Yes.
I'm accustomed to fine cars. So it doesn't mean anything. And the same with women. The first beautiful woman I had, I was a simp. I never had a beautiful woman. I simped, did all the stupid stuff. After I got to a certain level of funds, money,
Mhm.
I didn't simp. I said, I have beautiful women all the time. You just one of, and you
Mhm.
really ain't on the top 10 of the beautiful women I have. So you don't have to talk anymore. You because it's something you are used to. Like if you can buy nice clothes. Like I have nice clothes, nice things that I may rarely wear because I don't have to show it off to anybody. I already know I have it. It doesn't mean as much and it's not special. But a lot of guys that go to Sosua have never seen a woman with those hips, those legs, that booty, and that beautiful hair, and they crazy. They've never seen it, and they spending their last dollar on it because it's something so new to them. It's that new Mercedes that they don't know what to do with.
Correct.
So that's why they talk. They talk because
Oh no.
you never buy something for yourself.
Too much.
You always buy something for someone else to see. So if you have a new car, it's not your new car doesn't mean anything unless you can drive it where everybody can see your new car. So in when I used to go there was no Tinder, there was no IG. So you just took a picture with your phone and that was your memory. Or you didn't even have those type of phones.
The old camera style.
The old flip phone, it didn't get no good picture anyway. So you just had your memory.
Yeah,
and
I was curious about that because it's like the way talk.
It's guys who have, if you ever see the Pookies and Ray Rays, are the guys who never have experienced that level of attraction or that level of someone giving them that affection and attention. And so when you don't have that, you want everybody to know what you have. The poorest people in the world wear all their clothes. They got the fake Rolex or the Rolex, the chain. It's because they want the world to see what they got.
Mm-hmm.
The rich people who can afford that, somebody like the owner of Facebook, T-shirt and jeans. You would never know it.
You never know they're rich.
You never know they're rich because they have it already.
Correct.
Well, all right. I appreciate you coming here. I think that'll wrap it up. We've been going for about 35 minutes.
Thank you.
No problem. I appreciate it. So you have a good day, and we'll bring you back on the show when we got something else to talk about. I got some other topics.
My pleasure. Have a good